Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely to have all of us back. I'm sure we had a lovely lunch break, and we're just going to dive right into it. Obviously, for purposes of keeping time and allowing us more time for with its questions and to delve into the next topics that are scheduled. So right now we have Brian Moe. He's going to be doing his presentation just now and a live demo on how blockchain is reshaping identity management. And then followed by a live demo as well from Paul Prinsloo. They work for the same company. Brian Moore is the founder of Finovant as well as BitMobile, the Phoenix phone that you see right here. That's the founder of that phone as well. So Paul works with Brian. Paul, I'm sure you've met Paul, everybody. So Brian, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much.
Does that show up, that screen? That
Yes, the Phēnix X platform screen, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think it's very clear for everybody here. So if we can hear you and you can hear us, fantastic. I think you can take it away.
Great. Well, let me just start off by saying that I really want to pass my appreciation to the hosts, to Becky and Yaliwe. These are very important conversation points. And I know the audience there is grappling with these topics in a way that is really amazing, because if we think about the reality of technology and especially identity management and how this is changing so rapidly with technology, that you guys are faced with coming up with regulations, working with products on the market, trying to understand the impact of the population and how best to address these things now and in the future. And let's face it, with all of the technologies that we have, blockchain in particular, you toss in things like biometrics and decentralized finance and artificial intelligence, and all of a sudden you have a mixture of just some incredible and amazing technologies that require a lot of oversight and understanding. So what we would like to do here, and so I really want to thank the conference sponsors for pulling this together and for bringing us into this conversation, and look forward to address this topic with you and build a relationship as we go forward. You'll find that in the conversation that we have here today, we are working rapidly across the continent of Africa and building out an incredible set of countries, the most highest priority countries that need this technology more than ever. They need it for government operations, they need it for the people, they need it to services in the economy and to help grow jobs and build the future of the workforce and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and all these things that go on. So this is a perfect time to have the conversation. So thank you so much. Can you guys see this next screen? I have an about us screen. Can you guys see that?
Hi, Brian. Yes, we can see you clearly and we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Great. So I'll just keep going then. So really, I just wanted to just spend a moment. After my presentation, we will have Paul Prinsloo. He will be giving a demo of the Phēnix X. We have a phone, a tablet, and a watch with earbuds that should be available for your viewing and demoing there at the conference. And I just want to highlight that, you know, when you take a look at BitMobile as a company, this is more than just technology. This really is a movement. So just thinking about how this impacts your citizens across the continent and beyond, you know, the fact is BitMobile is really focused on all of the emerging economies. And there's good reason for that, because we realize that with blockchain innovation, we really get to this concept of financial inclusion. That is being able to provide the greatest technology with the least barriers and the least cost. And this helps to secure the lives of every individual in your countries, and it provides access for them to this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding that opens up new opportunities. So what does it open up? Well, it could be a brand new job. It could be a child going through school and graduating, and then suddenly trying to determine, you know, where do they go next? Well, with this platform, they have an opportunity to learn about the blockchain. They have an opportunity to learn about AI, about biometrics, about Web3, about decentralized finance. And with this knowledge, they'll be able to get better paying jobs. They'll be able to work for international companies that don't require them to fly across the world to work in a location or drive across a large city. Many of these jobs you can do from the quietness and the serenity of your own home. And it's such a wonderful thing. And this platform is designed exactly for this. So this whole idea of financial inclusion and providing opportunities, this is what BitMobile is all about, and the Phēnix X platform. So we're really going to talk about the identity challenge and what we are facing today. So you guys are familiar with centralized identity systems. Many of these get hacked every day. You see this on the news. You see these large organizations that are getting hacked every single day. And information is shared on the dark web, and these cyber criminals will sell that at top dollar. And all of a sudden, your identity has been stolen. And somebody is able to take your information and open up accounts in your name, or figure out your passwords and get into all of your accounts, whether they're on a website or in a Web3 or wherever you happen to have them. It's a very dangerous situation. And so these centralized systems create a very open area for criminals to attack. And so what we're trying to do is figure out, you know, how do we close that gap? How do we make this world more secure? If you have and sense security in your world, then you can get up every day and be productive. You can get up every day and work and feel confident and not have to be concerned about your information, your data, your life being attacked or stolen by a fraudster. So when we talk about the impact, this creates that fear, and our goal is to reduce that fear, to remove that fear, to level the playing field for the average person, for the person out there who's just trying to get by, and to open up opportunities for them. So if we can help to redefine this digital identity, the security around that, where we put the user, you, in control of your data. Because if you are in control of it, you don't have to worry about a centralized system being hacked. You get to control the data. And this helps to secure your digital future. It helps to secure the things that matter most to you and to provide the best benefit in your life. So just a couple tidbits at the bottom of that screen. If you see there, we talk about the global cost of cybercrime. Can you imagine $10.5 trillion by this year? And this is growing 15% annually. This is just a massive number, and it affects everybody. And then we talk about the average cost of a data breach, and that's reached an all-point high of 4.8 million in 2024, a 10% increase over the prior year. So this is growing at a phenomenal rate. So we work diligently to mitigate these things and create a safer environment for you and your people. So when we talk about these environments and we think about the technology that could be brought to deal with this, we realize that the common element of every person is that you need to communicate. You have to have a way of calling somebody, of setting up an appointment, of figuring out where you are on a map, and being able to store some photos and keep track of things that are happening in your life, sending money from person to person or to a business to buy something, or if you owe money. All of these things need to happen on some kind of a platform. And in Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, and all these emerging economies, it's not a laptop. A laptop becomes too expensive. It becomes difficult to manage. And the power consumption, everything involved with it, it's just very difficult. And so then it really leaves it to a mobile device and a tablet. These are really the things that make it happen. All of the conversation around wearables and the future of reading your mind and having your mind interface with a computer, you know, these are still years and decades away, even in their most minimal implementations. And even then, these are hybrid approaches. So the cell phone, the tablet, these things are going to be around for quite a while before we get into more integrated systems that attach to your body. So knowing this, we've really taken the opportunity to take a look at, you know, how do we provide this unified data shield? How do we do this with the Phēnix X ecosystem? So the Phēnix X, and Paul will show you in the demo, he has the phone and the tablet and the watch and the earbuds right there to be able to show you. This is not just a phone or a tablet. This is an interconnected platform. It's a whole platform. And it's all designed to secure your digital lifestyle. This is where you get into your identity. The biometrics define who you are, and they define a secure level of access to your devices, to this whole platform. And it's decentralized. Those biometrics that you are using to access the phone and the tablet, they do not exist out in somebody's cloud. It's not at Google. It's not at Facebook. It's not at Apple. It's not at Microsoft. It's on your device, and you own the device, and you only have access to it. And in fact, because you are unique, nobody can steal your uniqueness. None of the AI fakers and all this stuff going on, they can't steal your uniqueness. So with that, you'll be able to leverage this entire platform with your biometrics. At the hub of all this is the Phēnix X smartphone. We have the tablet, we have the watch, and the earbuds, and other wearables that will be quite interesting that are coming down the pike. So if we think about the smartphone in general, we think about the tablet. These are conversation points. These are demo points. I encourage you to spend time with Paul and Prince. Prince is there with Paul, to spend time with them. We recently completed a stint over at Pick and Pay, and I had the benefit, the honor of working there at Pick and Pay, greeting people for days on end as they came in and they bought the phone, they interacted with it, they enjoyed the apps, and asked lots of great questions. And at every economic level of South African society. So it was really an eye-opener, and something that I would encourage everybody to have this type of an opportunity, because it really opens up the reality of how people use this technology, the concerns that they have, and how it impacts their lives. We learned so much from that. And we did that in 2 separate tranches with Pick and Pay. And it was just a wonderful experience. You'll see Prince there. Prince and I work together at Pick and Pay. He'll be also another demo point. Between Paul and Prince, they'll be able to show you the devices and highlight all of the technology. And I encourage you to spend time with them and really take a look at how convenient this technology is, how immersive the education is, and why this is so important in providing this unified data shield, which is in control of your own self. You control it. It's not controlled by Google or Apple or Microsoft or Facebook. It's controlled by you. So as we continue through the presentation, the core pillars of this, if we take a look at the SayTech voice and face biometrics, I would highlight that on the phone, there's also your fingerprint. You can use your fingerprint. The voice and the face are a little bit more sophisticated. The fingerprint is okay, but the voice and the face are just incredible. You can use all these in tandem. You can use them together. And on top of that, we have the DeFi security. But let's talk about the biometrics first. So this gives you a level of uniqueness that you can't imagine anywhere else. The fact that, you know, your face is your face and your voice is your voice. Even if you have a twin, there's still minor differences that these systems are designed to detect. And when you tie your digital identity to this, and that very secure information is only available on your devices, not in the cloud, it makes it impossible for anybody to steal it. It just makes it impossible. There's no centralized place for them to go and steal your identity. And to get to your phone and get through all this security, good luck. It's so difficult to do. It would take hundreds and hundreds, thousands of people to figure it out. So the beauty of this is that you are so safe. You have the most incredible platform, and your uniqueness is what helps drive the security around that. Not only that, but it's convenient. It's fast. It has a very nice, easy access. And you'll see that in the demo. This helps replace those ridiculous passwords. You know, you have to type in these passwords, which the criminals have figured out how to defeat. They've learned, they have these programs that they run, and they just sit there and play around with different variations of words and phrases, and eventually they crack the passwords. But with our technology, they can't do that. And when we think about the integration of SayTech, this is something that you're going to see in the app. You'll see it in apps on the phone. You'll see it in apps on the tablet. And the beauty of that technology is we've integrated it directly into the operating system. So this means that you don't have to download it. You don't have to try to have somebody come and spend a week and put it on your phone. It's already there when you unbox the Phēnix X. So whether you're unboxing the phone or the tablet, that technology comes right inside the phone, right inside the tablet. And it's there ready for you to use. And we are the only company that's done this. So this is a very, very important technical advantage, and also goes to the heart of the security, because it's in a secret area in the phone to begin with. There's no aftermarket integration. It's right there. And I would highlight that this same technology also fits into the apps. So the apps that Paul and Prince will demo, they will also use the biometrics as a way to access the app. So imagine this. You're accessing the phone with your biometrics, and then when you load the apps, you're accessing some of the apps with the biometrics. So these are just layers of incredible security. You can't ask for anything greater. It's already there. And it's right there for all the people to use and to protect their security and to protect their lives. There's a couple of notes at the bottom here. The biometrics market is huge. It's valued at 43.9 billion in 2024. It just gives you an idea of how fast this market is growing. And we talk about multi-factor authentication. And this is just the ability to have more than one thing happening to identify you when you access your device. This is also a very fast-growing environment to try to figure out how to protect things better than they're currently being protected. And that's why we have voice, that's why we have face, that's why we have fingerprint. We do have the passcode. We have that on the phone, of course. And we have the decentralized finance security. So multiple layers that if you employ some or all of these, you will never be defeated. Your security will always make you secure. So let's keep going here on the presentation. Another core pillar is decentralized finance. So the beauty of this technology, and you think about the blockchain, and the blockchain being decentralized. You think about, nodes running on the blockchain, you think about the blockchain security, and decentralized finance was designed for this entire market. DeFi gets you to a point where you can use the blockchain. Your application doesn't run on Google's platform or Apple's platform. It runs everywhere. It runs in your browsers. It runs on your phone. It runs on your tablet. It runs on your laptop, your desktop. This technology runs everywhere, and it's decentralized. So it's impossible for anybody to shut it down. It's a wonderful technology, and it bypasses big tech, which is why it's so incredible. And so we think about the DeFi security. It gives direct control to the user, to you, of the technology. There's all kinds of security built around DeFi. So we have information which is stored that is secure. So whether your device, whether it's your phone, whether it's your tablet, whether you're trying to do something in a browser, anything that you're interacting with, even if it's just temporary information, we want to make sure is secure and not available to anybody who can steal it. And this is why we use encryption technology. This is why we use the blockchain to be able to store things in an immutable way and to use them for like your session or your authentication. We use this technology, this decentralized finance technology, as a way to do that. And the beauty of all this is where we have a history, and we'll talk about a layer 0 blockchain here in just a minute. But when we think about this and how this technology plays out, because it's decentralized and because it's secure and tacked on to the Phēnix X platform, it gives you a much greater sense of security than anything else you'd be using on the market. So part of what we have to do is educate our populations. We have to educate the people as to what this technology is and what it does for them. And in this case with DeFi, the blockchain is a critical element. And when we think about the blockchain, we think about these immutable transactions. We think about transactions that 100 years from now, you can go back and find. In fact, every financial transaction that I have ever made on the blockchain, you could look up in a minute and you could see it. Every one of them. You'll know exactly who was paid and how much they were paid. It's such a wonderful thing because it's 100% clarity. It's 100% transparency. You can't get better than this. And it's 100% secure. So DeFi is absolutely amazing. This really helps the Phēnix X platform in many ways. And one of the pillars that support all this is Web3. So we talk about DeFi, but the way this gets implemented is through a technology. And that technology is the Web3. So we talked about this. This gives you that decentralized ability to execute on any platform. This gives you the ability to bypass the big tech people and run your software, run your programs, send your money, access your files, get your rewards. You know, one thing that Paul's going to show you that I can't wait to see your expression, and Prince will show you, is in the Phēnix X platform, there's this concept of a reward. And imagine this, right? A phone that pays you back. So the Phēnix X, the phone or the tablet, either one, once you purchase it, the following 1 month later, you will start getting rewards. And those rewards come in your local currency. So in the case of South Africa, it's their rand. And these rewards come every month, and they are given to the user of the phone. There's a portal where they can go and they can view the rewards. They can access them, they can withdraw them, they can leave them in there and let them build over time. But the phone itself, because it's using decentralized finance, it's able to give these rewards. And when we think about Web3, this is how all of this happens. The technology behind it is biometrics, decentralized finance, Web3, and blockchain. So when we talk about Web3, this helps us to avoid the big tech, right? And gives us that ability to have a self-sovereign identity. So this means that you are in control. You have your own identification. It's kind of like the IMEI number on a phone in a way, but it can't be spoofed. You can't spoof your identity. It's just you. It's your biometrics. It's who you are. So you have a self-sovereign ID. This allows you to bypass big tech and use decentralized finance. So like if you're sending money from point to point, you can save a tremendous amount by using decentralized finance. So for the average person, this is a game changer. It opens up the ability to perform commerce locally and globally without any barriers. And especially for the unbanked or underbanked, this creates an ability to conduct business unlike anything we've seen in the history of finance. So the beauty about this is that data portability is quite amazing. It's seamless. Data can move across platforms. It's easily secured. It's secured by your identity and managed through the Phēnix X platform. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I would say the promises of the Web3 identity, you get that enhanced privacy. Everything is all about you making the decision when you want your information to be shared. Imagine, you know, in the industry, they use an example, like if you go to the store and you want to buy a can of beer, they use this analogy. And they say you go into the store and the guy says, hey, I need to see your identification. And you're like, well, I mean, no, I'm not going to show it to you. It has my address on there. It's got my personal details. Why would I show? You can copy it. Why would I show this to you? The beauty of this technology of Web3 and DeFi and the blockchain is that you could, with your biometric identity, you could authenticate yourself and prove that you're old enough to buy that can of beer without sharing your personal information. So somebody couldn't track you back to your house, as an example. And that's the beauty of this technology, is it allows us to do this. So when we think about the promises, you get that enhanced privacy, you get these reduced or fewer data breaches, and the trust goes up. And when trust goes up, business activity increases. That means your economies get stronger. You have more money flowing back and forth between businesses and people. It builds a greater tax base, and ultimately better educated people that can help their cities and ultimately your country. And this is a critical factor that we need to highlight. So when we think about also another backbone of this, we think about the Constellation Layer 0 hypergraph. So this is a blockchain. It's called a Layer 0 blockchain. And I'm sure you guys will hear conversation about Layer 0 and Layer 1. Like Ethereum is a Layer 1. Constellation is a Layer 0. And so we think about these blockchains, and this, we're actually building what's called a metagraph with Constellation. So every time when Paul and Prince show you the rewards, in order for you to access the rewards, you have to authenticate using your Phēnix X device. And once you authenticate, it will open up the reward screen for you to see how much money you have there. When you do that authentication, we are connected to Constellation's Layer 0 blockchain. So this is an example of a blockchain interaction with the Phēnix X. And let me just highlight, the Phēnix X platform is agnostic to blockchains. So it works with everything: Binance, Ethereum, Constellation, Polygon, Solana, you name it, it works with anything out there. It has no limit. It's available and been designed, architected to work with every blockchain in the world. So it's super exciting. And when we talk about the Constellation Layer 0 hypergraph, it's got, good pricing, it's highly scalable, it's fast, it's got incredible data integrity, and a reason why we implemented it for the authentication. And for us, we run what's called a business on the hypergraph, which is our token. We have a token behind all of this called BioFi. It's on the Binance network, and it's a token which connects up certain things in the background from a blockchain perspective, from a financial inclusion perspective, the BioFi token. And in the case of Constellation, we use their blockchain, not so much for the token at the moment, but for authentication and access to the portal. So I just want to highlight that. You'll hear more about this in some of our conversations in our blogs and on the website. And I'm sure Paul and Prince will share all of those details with you. When we talk about the AI and advanced analytics, this is very important because we want to be able to enhance and continue to build on our security posture, but also to ensure that the user experience is the best that it can be. Being at the Pick and Pay locations in South Africa, and you guys are pretty close. You could go down to the waterfront as an example. Pick and Pay, the location where we were stationed, is right there at the waterfront. It's down on the lower level. You can go down there at the Pick and Pay. And that's where we were for a couple of months, 2 different tranches. And then we had 8 locations, 8 Pick and Pay locations. And we're selling the phone, talking to customers. This whole concept of user experience becomes much more clear when you meet with hundreds and thousands of customers. and talk to them about the product and work with them on the product. And that's how we architect things. That's how we design things to provide the best customer service possible. So we think about AI and how AI plays into this. You've got fraud detection. You have adaptive security. We've got our enhanced biometrics, the voice and the face. And of course, personalizing these experiences. So AI sits behind a lot of this in that it helps to build a faster, better, fraud-resistant platform. So we can make decisions, we can perform better security with higher quality, we can understand the threats that we're facing, and all the while making it user-friendly and fast. It's got to be quick, it's got to be efficient, and it has to be secure. So these are all ways that AI is helping us. And we also have AI baked into education. You'll have a great time looking at the education, both from the work that's happening with HVAC-R EDU, solar education, and Web3. And you'll see this actually on the devices. You'll see that learning is conducted through a hands-on approach with these devices that can be conducted in your house. You don't have to drive across a large city like Johannesburg to find a place to work on a ventilation machine. You can do that from your own house on the tablet or on the phone. And I believe Paul has a demo that he will follow up on this presentation to show that. And you can see that there in person. Both Paul and Prince can show you this. So AI is baked into the education, it's baked into the device and the security, and will continue to be this way in all of our implementations. When we talk about the industry data and this being a critical need, the digital threats that exist in the world are endless. We used to see a lot of this happen in Europe in the beginning, and then it moved to the US and then the rest of the world. And it was just crazy in the very beginning. So there were a lot of programs that were put in place to try to thwart these issues. And we talk about identity fraud, we talk about decentralized identity and financial inclusion. And the critical need here is managing this data, keeping it secure, and making sure that the Phēnix platform is doing what it needs to do to protect every person. So we understand those threats, we understand the urgency of those, how identity management is best handled. And this is what you'll see in the demos, and you'll see in both on the phone and the tablet. And I encourage you to spend time with both Paul and Prince. As we start to wind this down, I just want to point out that the user is in complete control. The user is in complete control. This is not big tech. This is the user. This is you. There's no centralized authority. We have self-sovereign identity. That is your ownership. We have the enhanced privacy. You get to make the decision when your data is shared. You decide, not anybody else. Your data is never sold. We never sell your data. And you have this immutable consent. So we use the blockchain at every juncture as much as we can. So this is your freedom. This is your promise of your digital future, and something that you and your identity deserve. And especially in these emerging markets where a lot of new companies are being established, new businesses, entire new technologies and jobs and growth happening in these emerging markets greater than we've ever seen on Earth. And so these are very important technologies that need to be implemented now. So here's what we talk about. This is a bright future for everybody. We keep the price down, and the impact is incredible. And here we reduce the price, the cost of that fraud in your life, in your country, and to your people. The transaction fees are lowered. So whether you're sending money or you're accessing educational content, the pricing is kept lower so that people can take advantage of it. And of course, things become faster and better because the technology allows this. Without big tech in the middle, you remove a middleman. You remove a middleman from the process and things speed up and get better immediately. And all these emerging markets, we're focused on Africa, Southeast Asia, and South America. And this is where the impact is the greatest, truly the greatest, because people need this more than anything. So we talk about that minimal cost, maximum impact. It's so incredible. And so I just want to highlight that the Phēnix X platform, you're going to see the phone, you'll see the tablet. It's secure, it's private, it creates an equitable life for every person. It's global, it interoperates between people in your city, in your country, and across the world. So by doing this, you open up these incredible opportunities. You have the enhanced financial inclusion. Your government services can be enhanced and improved with this technology. Now you have an opportunity to work with your constituents directly. And this is personalized and private so that any information that you put in here, you know that you're in control of, that it will be a deed to your house, pictures of your kids when they're young that you don't want to lose, all that is recorded on the blockchain and stored forever. In here is that we really appreciate the opportunity to spend this time. We're going to.
Hi, Brian. Brian, can you hear me? Hello, Brian.
This revolution that I think you guys are probably talking to Stellar there, and we really appreciate Stellar. They're a great
Brian?
partner.
Brian, sorry, just hold on. Can you hear me, Brian?
Yes, I can hear you.
There was a bit of a breaking. I don't know if you can maybe just kind of like maybe go back a little bit, maybe a minute or so, and just repeat some of the things you were talking about because it was breaking a little bit.
Okay, which slide was that?
I think the one before, and then we can move on to the next. Not like everything entirely. I think maybe perhaps around, say, next gen government services, thereabouts. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the one. Yes, please, if you could just kind of like go over, not everything, but towards the end.
Okay, can you guys see this slide? Minimal cost?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can see it.
I will start here. So minimal cost, maximum impact. I think the most important thing as we wind down this presentation is that we highlight that, you know, we're all about reducing these costs of fraud. By reducing the cost of fraud, you increase business activity. Imagine all the time that it takes to deal with fraud and paying for it and just dealing with the aftermath of all of these fraudulent activities, whether your website comes down or your phone is unusable, you know, for a couple of weeks, or your laptop has to be sent in for repair. The cost of fraud is just staggering. So by blocking this, by removing fraud, we help to create a better business environment. It's better for the person, it's better for the local business, the country, and ultimately the continent of Africa. So, and by reducing fees, you have more business activity taking place. A reduction in overhead, a reduction in fees means that you have greater economic activity. And this is an important thing. So when we streamline the operations, This also helps to reduce overheads, and it helps to automate things that take time that can be done quicker and more efficient. It saves money. And so by helping these emerging markets, there's the capability for everybody to get one of these devices and help to transform their lives, to give them something that's cost effective, that helps them to be more efficient in their lives and in business. And ultimately, this benefits everybody. It benefits their family, the community, and the country. So I would say that on this next slide, we have an incredibly bright future. We have as we're shifting towards security, privacy, and equality, that is, we reduce barriers to markets. The Phēnix X platform provides this with everything we've been talking about: the blockchain, Web3, decentralized finance, artificial intelligence, biometrics, the latest technologies, all sitting in a platform that's cost effective and easily accessible. This gives you the ability to interoperate around the world, improves that financial inclusion, allows you as your government services to provide more secure governance, voting, streamlined civil services, which you can now point towards trust and transparency because you have the blockchain. And you have ways of doing this which are secure, so people will never question whether it's right or wrong, because the security is in place to ensure that it is right. So all of these things help for a more personalized experience, private to the individual, and open to when they want to share information. And this helps everything from security to business development to opportunities that people need in these emerging economies and in your countries. So we've worked also with Stellar. I'm sure you have Stellar there. It's a great partner. We really enjoy Stellar. What a fantastic product. We use that every day, USDT. So I just want to say, join us this identity revolution. If you look at the Phēnix X platform, we're going to see a demo here of the tablet, of the phone. This is more than just a phone. It's more than a product. It's a valuable, an incredibly valuable asset for your people. And it really becomes their identity. So we're all about investing in the future, partnering and empowering individuals. And this is the key element here that we're working with. So I want to pause here. Hopefully you were able to hear that as I wrap that up. I want to pause that here and see Anita or others, Paul, if we have any questions from the audience before we do the demo.
The floor is open. If there's anybody with questions, perhaps we can pass the mic. Thank you.
Hi there, Brian. My name is Deline. I'm just curious to find out, how do you work with the countries where they have digital identity projects or nationwide programs, and how does this integrate or complement what they're doing on a national scale?
Oh, that's a great question. So the question is for countries that have already started like a national identity. The beauty of this platform is that we have built, hooks in the architecture. So we can take a national identity scheme and integrate it into the phone. If a country is already invested in that and they've come up with a clever way of identifying people, we can integrate that directly in the phone. So while the phone will have its own barrier of security, let's say that they need to access government services through the device, we would integrate that identity scheme into the Phēnix platform and make it very easy for the phone or the tablet to work with that country's identity system. That's what it's designed to do. And that was a great question.
Anybody else? Something you'd like to ask? Are we all good? Okay, wonderful. It seems like everybody's happy, Brian. Thank you very much. That was amazing. Now we're gonna have Paul.
Yes.
You come on the platform and Paul, take us away and wow us with your goodies. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Good day, ladies and gents. It's my pleasure to be here and demo this wonderful device. So just listen to Ryan show everything about it and why it can be very advantageous to everyone, basically. So what I would like to highlight now is, of course, the security and the rewards, as well as the educational aspect. So it's very difficult to show the security, but as you can see, there we go. It just logged in. So that's as easy as it is with biometrics. You don't need to remember a password. You don't need to like, oh, what did I use my password again for my Gmail or whatnot. It's just biometrics is easy. Then what we also have is the reward system. So every month, just like Brian explained, we've got our rewards. And let me just log in there. Authenticate. Okay, I'll show you guys the rewards now. But yeah, every month the rewards come through, and this can be seen as disposable income for anyone that owns this. So I'm just going to show it like this, but here you can see the rewards that come through every month. So what I'll do is I'll just also walk a bit through. Prince is also there, he has the same rewards, but everyone that owns the device just gets rewards for doing that. So that's a lovely facet to it. It also has trading features on it, trading bots. It also has a node that's coming out. So basically, we've partnered with a company called Reality Network. And what they do, it's a layer 0 blockchain infrastructure. And each device turns into a fractionalized node, thereby giving blockchain infrastructure to run through any country. And the device then gets rewarded for helping build that infrastructure out. So your user or your citizen in your country, they just get even more disposable income and more financial instruments.
This is the Phēnix portal. This is where you can get your rewards and access APKs, dApps, and our education that's on the Phēnix X. So to access the rewards, you first need to authenticate, which is using our SATEC technology. Then you can access this and you'll see your available balance as well as the ability to withdraw. As you can see, it's 7 days before the next rewards are available. It also has all the dApps that is currently available on the Phēnix portal. Here you can see all our programs and courses to empower you to do more. We have amazing APKs that you can already download that will also put you a step ahead. Then our dApps, as you can see, we have quite a few dApps. And there is our socials. Please follow us.
Then we also have the virtual reality education. So I took a screen share just before we came here just to avoid any technical difficulties. So if we can just show the video of that we want, then I'll explain exactly what that is. All right. So what you're about to see here is a company partnered with called HVAC REDU, which is your largest online learning platform for heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration.
You are now viewing the HVAC module that is on the Phēnix X. So you are an HVAC mechanic or technician that has been posted to come and fix some aircon here in a house in the US. So as you can see, you can interact with the thermostat. You have to put it to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you get some pop-ups and it asks, okay, go and retrieve the toolbox. So you can actually go outside to your van and retrieve the toolbox. A lot of it is interactive and everything is a digital twin. That means that it's one-to-one with the outside world and the digital world. Here you can get a close look at what is inside the air conditioning. And throughout, you will be prompted with questions you must answer correctly to continue. And now to complete the task and wrap up the demo, we will attach the clamp meter inside the unit.
Yeah, we did the same with solar panels. So South Africa has a big problem with electricity. So we thought, wow, it would be nice if everyone knew how to maintain solar panels, install them, and clean them. So we did one for solar as well as Web3. We're finalizing our Web3 education module, and I think that's going to be really, really interesting for everyone here. So next time we'll have that available. Any questions on the education side?
So actually, one of those are they preloaded materials just to show us maybe they are preloaded on that the Phēnix X. And you'll be updated through that.
Yes. Great. Any other questions or features you'd like to see demoed?
I have one question. So the phone is wholly contained within itself. It makes no use of cloud or anything else. Great.
It can, but it does basically just leave the cloud out. Yes.
And if I lose it?
If you lose it, then your biometric. So one cool thing about your biometrics is we've got something called Phēnix Lock. So Phēnix Lock is comes with an endowment principle. So you can basically take your crypto or any nice images from your kids or your birth certificate or maybe even the title deed to your house, and then you can upload it to that wallet for storage. So it's a decentralized storage that then gets encrypted and fragmentalized and stored across different servers, making it decentralized. Then you can set up a timer that if you do not access your account for, let's say, a week, a month, a year, then you can say, okay, what happens if I don't access it? Then it can get sent to another wallet where you can then access your information with your biometrics.
So I don't understand where does the source of funds come from that the individuals get rewarded with? Because is it for basically creating a network where communication is spread across the devices that are in use and they get rewarded for it almost as a payment for being a point of distribution or connectivity? And if so, how does that work? I'm sorry, I'm baffled, but I love getting money, but I'd like to know where it comes from.
I think we all love getting money, so I love that question. Knowing where your money comes from is also a very big thing, depending on how much it is. But yeah, so first of all, your first question, the rewards that generate the screen I showed you. So in our financial model, we take 10% of the purchase price of the phone, and then we take that as a company and we trade it in some DeFi pools. And the dividends of that gets paid out monthly to the owner of the device. So as long as we are trading well, you're getting money. If we do exceedingly well, we won't pay out everything. We'll keep some for in case we trade bad. So yeah, that's how, first of all, that's the one part you get money. The second part is a few income streams that makes this a very good financial instrument. And that's from the node that I spoke about previously from the reality network. So that you just get rewarded for supporting the infrastructure of the reality network. And then of course, all of that can get going to Astrobit, which is also one of our partners that we do, that's a trading platform.
Okay.
My question is security issue. What if I format the phone to factor setting? Somebody can use it again, or
Sorry, can you repeat the first part?
if I reset or I formatted the phone to factor setting, somebody else should will be able to use the phone or not?
To reset it to factory settings, you first need to log in. So if there's no biometrics attached to it, then you can do that, and then you can use it just like again from the start. But the security is in the operating system itself. So even if you format it, it won't take away the security feature. Just all the data on it will be removed.
So if my phone is being lost or stolen, it will be useful.
Yes.
And you set it.
If you reset it, yes. So you just have to remove your biometrics and then format it.
Hi. Question about the rewards. What is the mechanism? How does it work? Can you get rewards for using your phone? If you use the phone more, do you earn more rewards? How does it work?
Imagine that some people will reach there.
I'm just trying to understand, because I know there's a variance between the rewards that Prince earned and what you earn.
I think it's the same amount. It just depends on when you authenticate rewards. So from the moment you buy the phone, you launch it, you activate your biometrics, that authenticates your rewards.
Oh.
And then from that month, about 30 days from then, you get your first reward. So if Prince bought it 2 months after myself, then he's getting less rewards. I've got 2 months ahead starting him.
All right, so everyone gets the same amount.
Yes. Well, for this model, if there's more expensive models, of course, 10% of that expensive models get paid out.
I understand. Okay.
Any other questions? Anyone wants to become a millionaire by taking TikTok every day?
So how long does the reward system run? Is it forever?
For the lifetime of the device. So your normal cell phone is like 3 years. So you can think 3 years plus for the reward system.
Every month? Is it every month?
Every month, every 30 days, you get rewarded. So yeah.
Sorry, follow-up question. What would happen if, say, you purchase a device, you've earned rewards and something happens, you break the phone screen or you just decide to stop using the phone? Is it transferable to another model, what you've earned?
So we do, first of all, great question. What happens if you break the phone? So we partner with a company called Triple S Cellular. They've got 14 stores in South Africa. And you can just take a phone there for it to get fixed. So if you're, that's a very good, I haven't really broken the phone yet and wanted to extract the reward, so I haven't really thought about that. But let me get back to you about that one. That's a very good question. And I believe there's another question over there.
I was actually asking if I can transfer some of them like that. My own phone to the Phēnix X.
If it's an Android device, you can. If it's Apple to Android, it's a bit more trickier. There is some software you can do it with, but it's not recommended. Any other questions that I'd love to answer?
So in terms of moving from country to country, how does your phone's roaming work? Is it the same as Apple or is it the same as Samsung? How would you connect to internet or use your Wi-Fi or data in different countries?
Great question, especially if you're a traveler. So that depends on your SIM card and on which network you are. So this phone can take 2 SIM cards, and you can, the next versions will have an eSIM capability that you can just go roaming on the eSIM in each different country. I do believe with a normal SIM card as well, there's a roaming option, but the phone has built-in Wi-Fi. So yeah, you can just connect to any Wi-Fi and use it. I know a lot of my colleagues are in the US and they're using the phone there as well. and some in the Philippines. So yeah, it just works like that. It's just we do not want like we are really big on regulation and staying under the law. So everywhere we go, we first get type approval. And for example, we need to get ICASA approval and CE certification here. So first, before we enter into a country, make sure we follow any legal compliance.
Also, you said that the phone uses, in terms of the wallet, it uses Google Wallet, right? Or, yeah, so how does it, the application of using it and starting it up, how do you start up your Google Wallet from that?
So basically, when you start the phone for the first time, you get those pop-ups from Google, and you just follow the prompts there. It will tell you, do you want to activate Google Pay? And then I just normally press skip because I don't like Google Pay. But you can do it and then just use it. Wonderful. I do believe our time is a bit up. So if you'd like to have a chat with me, I'm more than happy to chat with you. I'll be here for the rest of the week as well if you want some awesome demos. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you very much. That was a very informative session. I'm sure we all believe and we've like our brains are buzzing with what's next. So at this point, I'm going to call the chairwoman of UAPA, Mrs. Number. Can you just come through first, please?
Thank you so much, Nita, and thanks everyone. So we have come to the end of the day. And I just want to take us through what will be happening tomorrow and what to expect. So tomorrow, obviously, we should be here at 8 for some coffee or anything. The program kicks off at 9. We will have somebody joining us from Ghana, from the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And they will obviously be giving us a keynote on blockchain and financial systems and compliance. And obviously you can ask them questions because, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is quite vital, especially to cross-border trade, across the continent. So unfortunately, he couldn't join us in person as well, but he will be online as well to give us speech and to answer any questions. Then we will have a session on introduction to digital currencies for regulators. So I think we had some talks about stablecoins in the other room and all these other things. Some of these things will be broken down tomorrow. Then we will have a case study on digital currencies and regulatory frameworks. And these are all different speakers. So we're going to have a very nice, rich session tomorrow. We have a round table and everybody is invited. Everybody should be on that round table because they will also be looking at addressing risks in regulation. So it will be nice for all of us to be there and obviously share our input. And then after that, we will have policy lab. I think Dr. Jai, you spoke about regulatory sandboxes and stuff or like that, right? So we're actually going to have drafting a blockchain regulatory sandbox. So we will have that going on tomorrow. And then lastly, we will have a fireside chat, which will be compliance and security in the age of decentralization. We've got a full agenda for tomorrow. Do not miss. And we'll see you.
Oh, yeah, get more. I think it's. I will tell you. So, but a lot of. Every time I get this, every time I land to block it, they say.
I don't like.
Oh, what I love. Everybody says. And then they just wanted to. Put it up. And they were worried that now that's the first. They're getting. You're not that bad.
Someone comes and offers me, what do you believe?
Yeah. Anyway, as I say, when I bother you, can you? Then you get your parents. Person of like getting a break. And it could be finished. Yeah. You didn't get my number.